What's going on, guys? It's Nano back again with another video. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to one more final review. This time we're doing the Galaxy Watch Active 2. I made a previous video unboxing and just a hands-on impressions. I want this video to touch bases a little bit on what I like, a little bit of what I dislike, who this watch is for, and what can you expect going in it. And more importantly, this is not a fitness review video. This is a average consumer, someone who actually prefers to use their smartwatch more for smartwatch features, so much more so than fitness features. However, I will touch a little bit on the fitness aspect of it, and then like I said, give you guys my overall recommendation for this watch. So if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and if you like anything at all throughout the video, hit that like button as well. Leave a comment in the section below if there's anything that you want me to answer, or anything that you want me to get back to you about, and let's get to it. So first and foremost, guys, this watch right here is beautiful. All right, I want to make sure that that's clear to everyone, because I think Samsung really did a wonderful job at just making this watch a really nice overall looking watch. Now, I've had the Galaxy Watch Active 1, if you want to call it that, or the first one, and overall look and feel is exactly the same. Now, this is the 44 millimeter watch, so this one is a little bigger. They do have a smaller 40 millimeter. Price is I think less than $50 difference. So, you know, you really don't need to worry about going over budget to get one or the other. Literally, the difference is size. So therefore, this one obviously has a bigger battery than the other one. So if you like things like that, that matters. Okay. The biggest thing, though, the biggest thing that Samsung did with this watch is they went ahead and created a rotating digital bezel. As you guys can see here, as I run my finger across the top bezel, it changes your app. Before, in previously Galaxy watches and things of that nature, sports, I've had pretty much all of them, you actually had a rotating dial. They removed that, and now it's all touch, and it works wonderfully. Like, I actually love that feature, guys. Like, I find myself wanting to rotate the screen and engage with my apps and my watch in a way that I never did before. It's cool, it's intuitive, and more importantly, I'm sure Samsung must have thought of it this way. It's one less piece that they have to worry about for warranty. It's one less piece that they have to worry about for water resistance and all that good stuff. So Samsung, really good job on doing this. This is cool. I like that. So that's probably the biggest thing, or biggest change, if you will, between Gen 1 and Gen 2. Obviously, you can buy this watch in LTE if you want to have this be independent from your phone. This is just the GPS standard Wi-Fi model. Battery life on this thing, I'm going to talk about that, because that to me is, if not the most important thing about every piece of technology, has to be up there, because if you don't have good battery, then your experience using whatever device you're using is limited. It's unpleasant. Nobody wants to have to constantly be tethered to a wall, especially if you're talking about a smartwatch or a fitness device. The last thing you want is to have to worry about whether or not your battery's died on you halfway through the day. If you're going for a run, if you're cycling, if you're swimming, whatever the case may be, you don't want that battery to die on you. The reason why I went the bigger one, battery life. I don't even think I have like big wrists. I think they're average, but the battery life is all that much better than the other 40 millimeter from early reviews that I've seen. I'm easily getting 2.5 days of use on my Galaxy Watch Active 2 with a 44 millimeter one. That's plenty for me. Definitely want to go more than 18 hours, like Apple quotes in their Apple Watch. And before somebody says that Apple Watch versus this are two different kinds of comparisons, and I get that to an extent, but you don't want 18 hours. You don't want that. Matter of fact, this watch allows you to sleep track. I don't personally use it. I'll talk about that a little bit here in a second with the whole fitness thing. But if you're using this for that and your battery's about to die, then you might as well not do it, period, right? So battery life is really good on this watch, and I love that about it. So definitely something that I'm going to put in the whole like category. What else do I like about this watch? I actually like the fact that Samsung has reduced the bezel. So I've talked about the digital bezel screen, how you can rotate the bezel just with touch, but the bezels itself have been reduced, giving you a much more overall bigger footprint. And in an era where we want phone screens to be smaller and smaller for the most part, it's nice and refreshing to see that across our wearables as well. But there you have it. In the package, you get one band and one band only. Previously, they would give you a small and a large. Now they're just giving you a medium/large. You've got, your heart sensors in the back and all that stuff right there. The hump of this is a little bit bigger than what it used to be. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Slightly bigger. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So you've got the heart rate sensor, and you've got GPS. Those are all things that you definitely want in a fitness watch. For example, I just bought a bike the other day, and I've been using the watch for the cycling mode. I love that it keeps track. I love that it does, all the standard intervals, and then obviously you sync it up with Samsung Health, or I think you can even sync it up with other third-party apps, and you know exactly where you went. That's super cool. I love that. You struggle to find that in other fitness devices like Fitbit that still needs to be tethered to a phone. And that's probably going to be the biggest concern of mine if I do decide to return this, because I am considering this versus going back to a more traditional Fitbit. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit about that here at the end of the video. So I love the screen. I love the size. I love the battery life. I love the overall look, some features of it. What don't I like about this watch? So what I don't like about it is that I feel that Samsung, by making this version slightly bigger than last version, it loses that whole all-in-one portability that I think the first gen Active had, which was fitnessy but smartwatch enough, or smartwatch plenty. You could take it with you to bed and do sleep tracking. It wasn't as cumbersome. Trade-offs, right? It's a balance. I'm not going to go to bed with my Galaxy Watch 3 or all that like my girlfriend has. It's too big. It's too clunky. That's way more smartwatch, a lot less fitness. The Active line, the first gen at least, created that perfect balance, in my opinion, between fitness and smartwatch, allowing me to do things and use those features in a way that I wouldn't do with other more standard smartwatches. So I'm not finding myself wanting to do that with this one. I tried to go to sleep with it the other day. It was cumbersome. It was big. I didn't like that. I wish that Samsung had created a little bit of a refresh with their Tizen lineup. I think that the whole swiping gesture in the digital crown, that's cool and all, but the apps, I wish they had updated or created some better apps for the Galaxy Watch Active 2. They've changed the watch faces a little bit, but it's standard, just like a copy from first gen to second gen. And the fact that this is pretty much first gen, minus a few tweaks, is it worth an upgrade if you have the first gen? Or should you get this one if you don't have the first one at all? Overall, though, guys, I'm not going to sit here and try to go ahead and find things I don't like about this watch, because overall, I've enjoyed this watch a lot. I've used it a lot since I've received it. I got it day one, and overall experience has been extremely satisfying. I highly recommend. I've recommended it to friends already. Heck, I've even considered getting the LTE version, but if you have the first gen, is this worth first gen? I don't think so. Very, very few and small upgrades. Those are incremental upgrades, the ones that I've mentioned here. And if I'm missing some, please let me know in the comment section below, because I'm sure there's some more fitness-focused apps out there and fitness-focused uses that I'm missing. But I want this review to be from an overall user's experience. If you don't have the first gen, or if you're considering getting a smartwatch and you're all about Android, then definitely get this. If you're on iOS, don't get this, because I was using it with my new 11 Pro Max and it just wasn't a pleasant experience. Very limited. We know this. Apple limits those kind of devices on iOS. I mean, heck, it's got its own Apple Watch. So don't get it for that. Get it if you're definitely on Android. Now, you have to ask yourself, are you more fitness or are you more smartwatch? This overall is the better balance you're going to find, because if you get a Fitbit, if you get a Garmin, if you get one of those Google smartwatches, you're going to be either all fitness or all smartwatch, very little fitness. This is, I think, the best compromise out there, and almost so that it's not even feeling like a compromise. I'm almost considering either going to the LTE version or switching out for the smaller version so that I can still have that portability of using it as a fitness watch for like sleep tracking and health things of that nature. You're still going to get your texts. You're still going to be able to see your calls. You're still going to be able to use Samsung Pay. You're still going to be able to do the things that normally you'd like doing with a standalone, more smartwatch watch from Samsung. So with that being said, guys, definitely give it a thumbs up. Definitely recommend it. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about it, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Like always, stay geeky.